Hello everyone. We will solve this today's LeetCode problem. This is LeetCode medium one. The question is compare version numbers. Let's see what it is. So given two version numbers, version 1 and version 2, compare them. Version numbers consist of one or more revisions joined by a dot. Each revision consists of digits and may contain leading zeros. Every revision contains at least one character. Revisions are zero indexed from left to right, with the leftmost revision being revision 0 and the next revision being revision 1, and so on. For example, 2.5.3.33 and 0.1 are valid version numbers. Okay, so this is the definition of version numbers which is given in this statement, right? So we need to compare version numbers, compare the revisions in left to right orders. Revisions are compared using the integer value, ignoring any leading zeros. This means that revision 1 and 001 are considered equal. Okay. So if there are leading zeros means what is leading zeros means? Means the if there are if zeros are present before any non-zero number, then it is called uh, leading zeros, right? So like 0 0 0 1 2, like, so this before this 2, all the zeros are leading zeros. So this and is equals to this 2, right? This should be considered here. So if a version number does not specify a revision at an index, then treat the revision as 0. Okay. For example, the version 1.0 is less than the version 1.1 because the revision zeros are the same, but the revision, okay. So we need to return the following if version 2 is greater than revision 1 and version 1 is greater than version 2. So this is something like easy problem to grab, but uh, the implementation should be here the main part. That's why it is considered as a medium problem. So this is the low medium problem, greater than easy but less than medium one, if I say. So this problem is medium because of implementation only, because of implementation implementation only, right? So how we will solve this problem? So we need to compare the both of the versions. So you must have think this version and this version, that 1.01 and this is 1.001 is similar. That's why it returns 0, because this 0 after this point and before the 1, which is non-zero number, there are two zeros, and here is 1 0, which will be considered as the same 1.1 and 1.1, right? That's why this is 0. This is 1.0 and this is 1.0.0. This is also similar because after this point there is only a 0, there is no any non-zero number, so that's why this 1.0 and this 1.0 is considered similar. This 0.1 and this 1.1, so version 2 is greater than this version 1 due to difference between 1 and 0, because 1 is greater than here. So if version 2 is greater than version 1, we need to return -1, right? So that is how we need to provide all the conditions and return the answer as suited for the example, right? So you what should be the approach here, right? So if you already think that we need to iterate in both of the versions simultaneously and compare each digits in both of the version, right? So here is a two pointer approach. Two pointer here, it means the first pointer will point to version 1, and the second pointer will point to version 2, right? So and we will iterate by satisfying these all the conditions which are given in this, right? So just write all of the conditions, right? The first condition is here, right? So if there are leading zeros, then we need to ignore that, right? The first condition is this. Second condition, if there are dots after if there are extra dots present in any version, that should also be ignored. So that should also be ignored. So I think this is not given in anywhere. I haven't read the question. One more revision. Okay. So I think this condition is not given anywhere. This is just a this is the just an idea which I came in mind. I think this is not given any. This is not written anywhere. So we can remove this also, right? So if that is present, then this can be an also an example case. We will see later on this, but it can be also present that extra dots can be present here. But if the extra dots are present, then it will not be a valid version numbers according to this, right? So this should be removed. Now for other conditions, these three is the main conditions. By satisfying this, right? So how we will solve this question? So here what we can do, suppose I take this example. I take the example. So I will start. Let's take I at 0 and j as 0. This I will point to version 1, and this j0 point to version 2. Right now, what will we can do is we will start iterating. But what we do, we will form a number. So if we see that the version and version 2 can be stored in a 32-bit integer. So what we do, we will make this, suppose the head is given 123 uh, 109, right? So we will form this number before dot, right? We will just form a number before this dot, such that I can compare this 123 to 109. What does it mean? That I will start forming from string. I will start forming a number from a string, so that I can compare the both of the both of the version. I can compare uh, both of the version numbers, right? So what I will do, I will start setting I is equals 0 till I don't get my point, till I don't get this pointer. So this will be becomes 123, and this becomes 109. This will become 109. So if I compare this 123 will be greater than this 109. It means we need to return 1, because v1 is greater than v2. So we will return 1 here, right? So why I'm doing this like this, because there can also be possible leading zeros. If suppose here this is 001 and this here is 01. So if I make this number as after dot, so after forming this will become 1, and this will also become 1 in integer value, right? But if I compare with try to compare with string, I need to increment and increment index again and again, right? That's why I'm making this as a whole a number, and this is also a whole number, right? The reason is to make a whole number as to the reason to make a string to number between dots to handle the leading zeros, right? To handle the leading zeros, right? So this is how we can solve this, and this is just an implementation part. Let's see how we can implement it, right? So we will first take it this word. Let's make it simpler as v1 and v2, right? So v1 dot size, and this will be v2 dot size, and also take I is equals to 0 to j is equals to 0. uh, this should be comma here. Now what we will do, we will iterate simultaneously in both of the versions. So if both of these in pointers will reach its limits in both versions, we will this while loop will break. Otherwise we will this will continue till again, right? So the first thing is, what we will do, we will find form a number from the string, right? So we will start iterating in a loop, and till how which point we will form this number till I don't get any dot value, right? Because If I get a dot value, that will not a form number. So before this dot here, before this dot, we will form this number. So what we will do, we will start multiplying with 10 plus this v1 I minus 0. So what v1 I minus 0 will do, this will typecast the character to integer. So if suppose here it is given 1 2 3, so what will it will do, it will start iterating from 1, it will store 1, and then it will store 1, and this 1 will store in value 1. So initially this will be at 1, then after that I'm multiplying this value with 10, then it become 10, then it will add with 2, which will become 12, right? Then again after 12 it will multiply with 10, it will become 20 120, then it will add 33, this will become 123. So this is how this form a number 123 in integer, right? This is how we will find the value from string to integer. So this value one is formed. Now this again, okay, I need to also increment the index, and now this value is incremented. Now this I need to also form a number with the second version, which is at j, and this is at m, this is 2, this is j, and okay, there should be again a different value 2, that will be 2 2, this will be 2, this should be j, and this should be also a j. So this is how we will form a number. So if suppose there is present, if suppose here it is present 0 0 1 0 0 1, so what will we do, it will multiply 0 with this and add 0, so it will automatically form a 1 only. So this value 2 ultimately becomes 1. So it doesn't affect of this leading 0 if I typecast to it to integer, right? So this is why we are typecasting into integer. So now this I will compare this value 1 and value 2 value. If this is greater than this value 2, what will we return? We will return 1, right? We will return 1 here. And if this is less than, it will return minus 1. Otherwise I will continue like I plus plus and j plus plus, right? Why I'm doing this I plus plus and j plus plus, because this j and this I is only breaking at dot. It means this I and j is pointing to the dot value only, right? The dot value. So I don't need to take the dot value, that's why I'm incrementing I plus plus and j plus plus. Now this can be formed again and again, right? So this is how we will find, and at last I will return 0, because if we have not returned till here, then it means the version 1 and version 2 is same, right? Now we will run this. Let's see. We have passed the sample case. Let's submit it. Yeah, we have passed the sample case. So what does it do? It is it is start pointing to the first version and the second version, and making the numbers just before the point exists. And we will compare both of the numbers, and if that is not equal, then it will return according to the given conditions, return 1 or return minus 1. And if it is equal, then it will again continue the same process, and this incremented value is due to this dot value, right? So this is just an implementation question. Its logic is very simple. As per the logic, this is very easy and easy LeetCode easy problem, but due to implementation it becomes hard. For solving this, how to compare both of the version numbers excluding the leading zero, right? So if we discuss about time complexity, that will be again O of n plus m, right? And the space complexity will be O of 1 only, because we are not taking any extra space here, right? So that is time complexity will be O of n into m, O of n plus m, and space complexity will be O of 1, right? uh, O of n plus m. No, sorry. That will no O of not n plus m. This should be max of n comma m, because it will go till the max value of this both. Otherwise it will not it will get break and return zero, right? It will be max of n comma n, not n plus n. This should be n comma max of n comma n, the maximum of the length of both of this string. So yeah, thank you. Bye bye.